Hi guys, I swear this is the last one. I'll give you a different view of these other trees. There's the corroded tree, the trees with disease. I'm sorry. I said my sister in the last video. It wasn't my sister, it's my sister-in-law. We had talk. She was also molested, and now that she's gone in her memory, I'd like to take a little care and grace to talk about it a little bit. I think she'd appreciate it. Because she struggled for her life at the end. 3 hours, there was nobody around. None of these relatives that pretend to be family, and it was all a big joke at her funeral. They come in, they laughed and joked because it was all covered up. Renee was getting to talk to me about what was going on, because Renee was getting some therapy. She was doing well. She looked beautiful when I saw her. She did have the gastric bypass, but they didn't tell her about all the complications. And she was also in a domestic violence situation with my brother, who's my half brother, who's brutal. He's been abusive to me, and he's very abusive. So I won't get into their story too much, but this is what goes on at St. Mary's, and this is how they treated her, and this is how they treat me. And this Cheryl Sparks is their cousin. She's the big doctor. All her brothers have had problems with alcoholism. There's been numerous molestations in the family. There's numerous problems, but this is what this woman continues to do. With these Spencers and these other families. The Spencers are everywhere. They're at the jail. They're at the police station. They're at the hospital. So it's a circle jerk with these people to make up false allegations and write this stuff up after I was sexually assaulted. And then you have other predators roam around, like the Sadas. I went to school with her too. So her brother roams around and sexually assaults women, and when you get over the hospital, they tell you you're delusional. And this is where you end up. On a park bench being told you made up your whole life. Your whole life is one big delusion, that you're putting things together that don't go together. A schizophrenic, delusional, you're paranoid, everybody's out to get you. There's nothing paranoid about this. I spent 20 years trying to figure out why these things were happening. And you know why they were happening? Because they were working together. I mean, what's going on with this tree? This tree don't look bad, but looks like it's dying too. But so there you go. So they and this is going on across America, where a woman comes forward and she finally talks about, because these things are humiliating. There's shame attached. There are issues attached to it. So you come forward, you get targeted again by these men over and over again, because they already know you're vulnerable. It's a very small community. They already know you're vulnerable. They already know who your family is, or who it isn't, or whether it's a blended family, or whether you're in a domestic violence situation. So this is the kind of officers we have here. They're disgusting. They're predators. They all should be fired.